The Kansas City crime family is an Italian-American mafia family based in Kansas City, Missouri. History. Early history. The Italian-American organized crime family began when two Sicilian mafiosi known as the DeGiovanni brothers fled Sicily to Kansas City, Missouri, in 1912. Joseph, Joe Church DeGiovanni and Peter, Sugar House Pete DeGiovanni began making money from a variety of criminal operations or rackets shortly after their arrival. Their fortunes greatly improved with the introduction of Prohibition, when they became the only group bootlegging alcohol in Kansas City. Their rackets at this time were controlled by John Lazio, who later became a leading figure when the organization expanded. The gang was given virtually a free hand to operate by their boss Tom Pendergast, head of the Pendergast machine that controlled Kansas City's government at the time. Under Pendergast, Kansas City became a wide-open town, with absolutely no alcohol-related arrests being made within city limits during the entirety of Prohibition. The DeGiovanni family directly benefited from this lack of enforcement of Prohibition laws. Post-Prohibition. When Prohibition ended in 1933, the family, although already involved in various rackets, allegedly began extorting bars. On July 10, 1934, Lazio was assassinated, probably on the orders of his underboss, Charles Carollo, who ruled as boss until his arrest in 1939 for tax evasion. His underboss Charles Benaggio then became the new boss and expanded the family's areas of labor into racketeering. With the help of Benaggio, Forrest Smith was elected in the Missouri gubernatorial race of 1948, and he took office on January 10, 1949. Benaggio was seen as a liability to the Mafia's nationwide commission, and it was decided that Benaggio should be killed. He was assassinated on April 6, 1950, and his successor Anthony Gizzo died of a heart attack in 1953. Nicholas Civella. The new boss was now Nicholas Civella, who greatly expanded the family's rackets and forged alliances with families from other cities, making the organization very powerful. Civella used the Teamsters to fund casinos in Las Vegas. In 1975, Civella was imprisoned on gambling charges for betting on the 1970 Super Bowl, played between the Minnesota Vikings and the Kansas City Chiefs. Around this time, there was a war in the family over control of the River Key Entertainment District, in which 3 buildings were bombed and several gangsters were killed. Operation Straw Man. The Kansas City FBI, suspecting mob involvement at the Tropicana Casino in Las Vegas, set up a broad investigation, known as Operation Straw Man, which involved wiretapping phones of reputed mobsters and their associates in Kansas City. From the evidence collected by taps and other eavesdropping in the late 1970s, the FBI discovered a conspiracy to skim money from the Tropicana Casino. Operation Straw Man learned that Joe Agosto, head of the Tropicana's Foley's Air Show, controlled the skimming in the Tropicana. Agosto was secretly sending cash from the casino to Kansas City organized crime chief Nick Civella and Joseph Iapper of Chicago, as well as Cleveland and Milwaukee mobsters. In 1981, a grand jury in Kansas City indicted Agosto, Kansas City mob boss Nick Civella, Civella's brother Carl Civella, mob member Carl DeLuna, and Carl Thomas, who had directed the illegal skimming of cash at the Tropicana with 2 others. The defendants were convicted in 1983. Recent history. Willie the Rat Camisano, Sr., became the family's next boss until his death in 1995. Anthony Civella then became the new boss. He died in 2006. The Kansas City family had an estimated 25 made members as of the late 1990s, according to the FBI. The current boss of the family is believed to be John Joseph Sciortino, also known as Johnny Joe, godson of Anthony Civella. The current underboss is believed to be Peter Simone. On July 21, 2008, Carl Tuffy DeLuna, former underboss to Nick Civella and brother-in-law to Anthony Civella, died. In August 2008, retired FBI agent William Useely published his history of the Casey crime family from 1900 to 1950 in a book titled Open City. On March 20, 2009, Black Hand Straw Man, a documentary of Kansas City's organized crime history, was released in theaters in Kansas City. On March 1, 2011, retired FBI agent William Useely published his history of the Casey crime family from 1950 to 2000 in a book titled Mobsters in Our Midst. On November 25, 2013, the documentary film Gangland Wire was released to theaters. This film uses audio clips from FBI wiretaps to tell the story of how law enforcement uncovered a massive conspiracy to control Las Vegas casinos. On March 11, 2010, the FBI indicted Guillermo Camisano, James Moradina, Michael Lombardo, and James DiCaprio for allegedly operating a multi-million-dollar internet gambling scheme. Guillermo Camisano, son of William "Willie the Rat" Camisano, served as the master agent of the sports bookmaking operation, which was based in the Kansas City area. Guillermo Camisano's brother, William D. Camisano, Jr., pleaded guilty for his role in the sports bookmaking operation. In January 1992, Moradina pleaded guilty to a federal money laundering charge and was sentenced to 37 months. Moradina served as president of a firm that distributed illegal video gambling machines. He and his business partner, purported mob underboss Peter J. Simone, operated the Bemused Vending and Amusement Company. Moradina is the son of Charles Moradina, who was convicted in the 1980s for skimming Las Vegas casino gambling receipts. Prior to the indictment, 6 individuals pleaded guilty in connection with the investigation, including 3, Vincent Savella and brothers Michael and Anthony Sansone, who are the son and grandsons of former Kansas City boss Anthony "Tony Ripe" Savella. According to Scott Bernstein's Gangster Report website, see State of the Syndicate. The Kansas City Mafia today, the Kansas City mob is on its last legs with 12 made men or less. The family still has some gambling and loan sharking with some extortion involving drugs and the strip club industry. Historical leadership. Bosses, official and acting 1912-1931, Joseph, Joe Church de Giovanni 1931-1934, John, brother John Lazia, murdered in 1934. 1934-1939, Charles, Charlie the Wop Carollo, convicted in 1939. 1939-1950, Charles Benaggio, murdered 1950-1953, Anthony Gitzo 1953-1983, Nicholas Savella, convicted in 1977 and 1980, deceased in 1983, acting 1977-1979, Carl Tuffy de Luna, imprisoned in 1979, acting 1979-1983, Carl Cork Savella 1983-1984, Carl Cork Savella, convicted in 1984. 1984-1995, William "Willie the Rat" Camisano 1995-2006, Anthony "Tony Ripe" Savella, arrested in 1992. Acting 1992-2006, John "Johnny Joe" Sciortino 2006 present, John "Johnny Joe" Sciortino. Current family members. Administration boss John "Johnny Joe" Sciortino, underboss Peter Las Vegas Pete Simone, consigliere Frank de Luna. The FBI in Missouri believes he is the aide to Sciortino. Co-regimes William Camisano, Jr., a current captain and son of former Kansas City mob boss William "Willie the Rat" Camisano Sr. His first conviction was in 1989 for obstruction of justice after he intimidated a witness involved in a murder trial. He was released 3 years later. He has been the suspect of numerous gangland executions during the 1980s. Camisano was also blacklisted from every casino in Kansas City and Las Vegas. In 2010, he pleaded guilty to running a massive illegal gambling operation which amounted to $3.5 million over the course of 3 years. He received 1 year. See also Anthony J. Bias, operated in Omaha, Nebraska. References. Sources: AmericanMafia.com, 26 Mafia Cities, Kansas City Crime Magazine, The History of the Kansas City Family.